The Wolf and the Seven Little Goats. Once upon a time, in a distant, peaceful land, a mother goat and her 7 adorable children lived happily in a cozy cottage near the forest, where laughter and love filled the air. One day, the mother goat needed to fetch vegetables from town. Before leaving, she warned her kids about the big bad wolf lurking nearby. "Dear children, I must go to town. Remember, never open the door to strangers, and beware of the big bad wolf. He won't spare you if he comes." The 7 little kids responded harmonically.
Yes, Mother.
With a warm hug, the mother goat departed. Meanwhile, the hungry wolf prowled around the cottage, drawn by the scent of the little goats. He approached and knocked on the door. "Open up, my darlings. Mother is back," he growled in a rough voice, but the 7 little goats refused to open the door, recognizing the wolf's deceit.
You are not our mother. Your voice is harsh, while hers is soft and sweet.
Disheartened, the wolf searched for a solution. He spotted a house with helium balloons nearby, and an idea struck him. Inhaling helium, he returned to the cottage and knocked again. "Open the door, my sweet ones. Mother has returned." This time, the youngest goat checked under the door and remained unconvinced.
You're still not our mommy. Your feet are dark, while hers are white.
Determined to deceive, the wolf covered his dark paws with white flour from a nearby bakery. With his feet now white, he returned to the cottage and tried once more. "Open up, my darlings. Mummy is finally home, and she has gifts for each one of you." The wolf mimicked the mother goat's soft voice. The wary kids requested proof.
Show us your feet.
Seeing the white feet, they believed the wolf was their mother and opened the door eagerly. But their joy turned to fear as they faced the hungry wolf, ready to devour them with a menacing grin. "Didn't your mother warn you about strangers? Now you'll be my supper." The terrified goats scattered inside the house, seeking hiding spots. One hid in the laundry basket, another in the oven, one under the bed, while another tried to hide in a pot. Well, the wolf found them and captured 6 of the kids inside a big bag. But the youngest, cleverly hiding in the clock case, managed to escape. Planning a grim dinner, the wolf left the house carrying the big heavy bag and headed into the forest. By the river, he lay beneath a tree to rest a bit, and soon fell asleep with the bag next to him. Meanwhile, the mother goat returned to find her cottage in chaos. "Oh no! What happened here? Where are my sweet little kids?" Horrified, she searched for her missing children and heard a faint noise coming from the clock. Upon opening it, the scared baby goat leapt into her arms. Determined to rescue her other kids, the mother goat went out in pursuit to find the wolf. She spotted him sleeping beneath a tree, with the bag of captured goats beside him. She quickly released her little ones and devised a plan to end the wolf's threat. "Fetch some big stones, my sweethearts. We'll fill the wolf's bag while he sleeps," she instructed. The little goats obeyed, filling the bag with heavy stones. As the sun set, they returned home safely, grateful for their escape and their unbreakable bond. The next day, the thirsty wolf woke up and rushed to the river, carrying the heavy bag. But as he leaned in to drink, the weight of the stones pulled him into the water, never to be seen or heard from again. Peace returned to the forest, thanks to the bravery and cleverness of the mother goat and her little kids. Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, in a quiet village by the edge of a deep, mysterious forest, there lived a cheerful little girl with a bright red cloak. It was a gift from her grandmother, made with such love and care that the girl wore it every day. The cloak's brilliant red hood made her easy to spot, so much that everyone fondly called her Little Red Riding Hood. One sunny morning, Little Red's mother filled a basket with freshly baked bread, warm soup, and sweet treats. "Your grandmother is feeling ill," her mother said gently, pressing the basket into her hands with a smile. "Take this to her. It will lift her spirits. But remember," her mother added, her voice growing firm, "stay on the path and don't talk to strangers." Little Red Riding Hood nodded with excitement, promising to be careful. With the warm sun above and the enchanting forest path ahead, she skipped off on her journey, blissfully unaware of the unexpected adventure waiting in the woods. Along the way, she saw beautiful wild flowers and thought, "Grandma would love these." She stepped off the path to pick some, forgetting her mother's advice. Just then, a big bad wolf appeared.
"Good day, little girl. Where are you going?"
he asked in a deep, smooth voice. Little Red Riding Hood, not realizing the wolf's trickery, replied, forgetting again her mother's advice. "I'm going to my grandmother's house to bring her food. She's not feeling well." The wolf's eyes gleamed with hunger, but he smiled sweetly.
"How kind of you. And where does your grandmother live exactly?"
"In the little yellow house at the end of the forest." The wolf grinned and quickly came up with a plan.
"Why not pick more flowers? Grandma will be so pleased. Then you can take the shortcut around the trees and reach her faster."
Thrilled, Little Red Riding Hood kept gathering flowers while the wolf hurried ahead to the grandmother's house. The wolf arrived, knocked on the door, and pretending to be Little Red, said,
"It's me, Grandma. I've brought you food and flowers."
Grandmother, weak from her illness, called out, "Come in, dear. I left the door unlocked for you." The wolf burst into the house, grabbed the grandmother, hit her, and quickly put on her nightgown and cap. He jumped into bed, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood to arrive. A short while later, Little Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. "Grandma, it's me."
"Come in, my dear,"
the wolf replied in a raspy voice. Little Red entered, but something felt odd. At first, she thought it was just because her grandmother was sick, but then she looked a bit closer and noticed. "Grandma, what big ears you have!"
"All the better to hear you with, my dear."
"And what big eyes you have!" she said, stepping closer.
"All the better to see you with, my dear."
Little Red took another step and exclaimed, "But Grandma, what big hairy hands you have!"
"All the better to catch you with."
The wolf roared, jumping out of bed and lunging toward her. Little Red Riding Hood screamed and tried to escape, but the wolf was quick and strong. He grabbed her tightly and growled maliciously.
"Yum, yum. What a feast I'll have tonight."
Fortunately, just then, a woodsman passing by heard Little Red's cries and burst in. He rushed inside, grabbed the wolf, and freed the little girl. Then, with great effort, he shook the wolf until he confessed where he hid the grandmother. The wolf, terrified, bolted out the door and ran off into the forest, never to be seen again. Little Red Riding Hood hugged her grandmother tightly and promised never to stray from the path or talk to strangers again. From that day on, Little Red Riding Hood lived happily and carefully, always remembering the lesson learned.